directing this mission. Teams in Dulles are keeping tabs on Cygnus vehicle and will take full control.
We are go for Cygnus departure on time. You can perform steps 3 and 4 in procedure 1.602.
We go on time, steps 3 and 4 in work.
The release window opened up at 11:23 a.m. Central Time today, putting Cygnus on track for an on-time release around 11:30 a.m. Central Time.
ISS thrusters are inhibited and ground M1 is go for release on time.
Copy.
If you're just joining us, we are live here in the International Space Station Flight Control Room with a live view of Northrop Grumman Cygnus cargo vehicle in the grasp of the Canadarm2 robotic arm. This morning, we're bringing you live coverage of the release and departure of Cygnus from the International Space Station.
Proceeding with release, Megan.
Copy.
Release commanded.
Copy, I see it.
Snares open. Begin monitoring for drift out.
The snares are now open.
Proceeding with back away.
And has exited the lee.
And release has been confirmed at 11:32 a.m. Central Time as Cygnus and the International Space Station were flying 270 statute miles over southern Wyoming. We're getting a live view from the Canada Arm 2 of Cygnus, now backing away from the International Space Station.
Copy.
We are now standing by for confirmation that Cygnus has started its 3-minute departure burn, which will move the spacecraft a safe distance away from the station, outside the approach ellipsoid, where joint operations will end and Northrop Grumman teams will take full control over the spacecraft. You are now getting a live view of the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where flight controllers here in Mission Control Houston just released the Cygnus cargo spacecraft.
Back away in progress.
Copy. And Houston looks like greater than 4.5 meters of clearance. I'll send the depart command.
Copy, Megan.
We are now standing by for
Cygnus depart commanded. Farewell to the SS Katherine Johnson.
Copy, Megan. Depart commanded. And as we say farewell to the SS Katherine Johnson, we want to extend a big thank you to the crew and ground teams across the world for all the hard work, and extend a big congratulations on the completion of yet another successful Cygnus mission.
Great words, Houston. We concur.
Cygnus departure burn is in progress. Monitor departure burn in step 5 of 1.602.
and we have confirmation the spacecraft's 3-minute departure burn is underway. Again, this
Is complete.
Houston, I did not copy your last.
Just letting you know, back away is complete, Megan.
Copy.
This burn will move Cygnus a safe distance away from the station, crossing over the approach ellipsoid, which serves as a mythical cone around the station, considered the neighborhood of the International Space Station. Once Cygnus departs the neighborhood, Northrop Grumman teams will take full control over the spacecraft for it to begin its secondary mission of system tests and CubeSat deployments spanning over the next couple of days. We're now standing by for departure burn to end. Ground controllers here in Mission Control Houston reporting performance is nominal so far.
go on 2 for ICF troubleshoot.
We are with you on 2, Aki.
Again for your go on step 1.
You've got to go.
And Megan, on Space to Ground 2, an offer, we can take control of the cameras if you like.
You can have the cameras.
Copy, will do. And Megan on 2, Cygnus departure burn is complete. You go to perform step 6 in 1.602. And FYI, Cygnus has exited the 200-meter keep-out sphere.
Copy step 6 and understand exited the keep-out sphere. Thanks.
We have confirmation the departure burn is now complete, and that was Capcom Scott Sigati confirming Cygnus is now outside the keep-out sphere, followed again. The keep-out sphere exit is one of the milestones built into Cygnus's departure today. Cygnus has now completed the first of 2 of the milestones. We are waiting on the exit of the approach ellipsoid today. If you're just joining us, we are watching live coverage of this departure, the release and departure of the Cygnus spacecraft today, dubbed the SS Katherine Johnson. So far, Cygnus was released from the Canadarm2 robotic arm at 11:32 a.m. Central Time, as the International Space Station and Cygnus were flying 270 statute miles above southern Wyoming. It then conducted a 3-minute departure burn to move a safe distance away from the space station, and Cygnus is now heading toward the final milestone of today, the approach ellipsoid. Once Cygnus crosses over the approach ellipsoid out of the vicinity of the International Space Station, joint operations will end and Northrop Grumman teams will take full control over the spacecraft. Until then, NASA astronaut Megan McArthur will continue to monitor systems from the cupola on board the International Space Station.
the station on 2 for TOCA.
With you on 2, Mark, go ahead.
For the TOCA closeout, the TOC is 446, the TIC is 1003, and the TOC RSD is 3%.
Copy. Tick-tock and tick-tock again. Thanks, Mark.
After Cygnus departs the approach ellipsoid, or exits the approach ellipsoid, it will begin a secondary mission where, once it's a safe distance away from the station, Cygnus will deploy 5 cube satellites, including the ionosphere thermosphere scanning photometer for ion neutral studies, or IT spins, which will add to researchers' fundamental understanding of Earth's ionosphere, and the Khalifa University Satellite 2, or MySat-2, which will train graduate students through the development and evaluation of its software. Cygnus delivered about 8,000 pounds of science, research, crew supplies, and vehicle hardware to the International Space Station on February 22nd. Of that 8,000 pounds was about 2,500 pounds of science investigations. One notable investigation sent up on this mission was a device to measure muscle strength in worms to test whether decreased expression of muscle proteins is associated with decreased strength, which could support development of countermeasures to help maintain crew member health. A good portion of research aboard the station is dedicated to understanding how the human body adapts and thrives in microgravity. There's also a great deal of parallels between health challenges in space and different ailments back here on Earth, with some space-based treatments translating directly to help people on Earth. The International Space Station continues to serve as an essential test bed for people on Earth and in orbit as we continue to move forward, placing the first woman and person of color on the moon by 2024 and eventually onto Mars. Again, we're standing by for confirmation that Cygnus has crossed the approach ellipsoid. Again, we're standing by for confirmation that Cygnus has crossed the approach ellipsoid.
And Station Houston on 2, Cygnus has exited the approach ellipsoid.
Station copies.
And that was Capcom Scott Sigati confirming Cygnus is now outside of the approach ellipsoid, meaning Cygnus has now left the vicinity of the space station. This is the point where joint operations end, and Northrop Grumman teams will take full control over the spacecraft. Northrop Grumman's mission director, Paul Brower, and team will now take full control over the spacecraft. Recapping the events from today, earlier this morning, flight controllers here in Mission Control Houston used the space station's Canada 2 robotic arm to unbolt Cygnus from the Earth-facing port of the station's Unity module and maneuvered the vehicle into its release position. With Megan MacArthur monitoring in the cupola, Cygnus was set free at 11:32 a.m. Central Time as the International Space Station and Cygnus were flying 270 statute miles over southern Wyoming. Cygnus then conducted a 3-minute departure burn to move a safe distance away from the station. Seconds after the departure burn ended, Cygnus exited the keep-out sphere about 200 meters away from the International Space Station. The final milestone came just a minute ago when Cygnus crossed over the approach ellipsoid, leaving the neighborhood of the station, where joint operations ended and Northrop Grumman teams took full control over the spacecraft. Once far enough away, Cygnus will begin a secondary mission deploying 5 cube satellites. After orbiting Earth for a few extra days, conducting system tests and CubeSat deployments, Cygnus will end its journey disposing of nearly 7,180 pounds of trash during its fiery re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere above the Pacific Ocean on Thursday, July 1st. With Cygnus now safely departed from the vicinity of the International Space Station after its 127-day stay, that'll wrap up our release coverage for today. Be sure to tune in to the Progress 78 launch coverage today. Our coverage will begin around 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're looking for a launch around 6:27 p.m. Central Time, and docking coverage will begin on July 1st, beginning around 7:15 p.m. Central Time, for a docking at 8:02 p.m. Central Time. Thank you for watching. This is Mission Control Houston.